Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my revision tips. Since my exams start next week and I've already started revising, I thought I might show you some of my ideas of how to revise and different tips and tricks that I've got off my teachers that I find really useful for me to remember things. Obviously, not all my ideas guys, because it depends how your brain can function things and what helps your brain remember things. If you like colourful stuff, if you like flashcards and all that. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, and also a few video ideas, and I'm going to leave them in the description, and just tell me in the comments whether you'd like me to do them or not. And I will also I don't know, just give me any ideas as well in the comments, because then I'm not struggling for ideas. Also, I'm going to try not to make my videos last minute. This is quite last minute. It's literally Sunday and I'm uploading it after I film this. But I've just been busy all week trying to revise and with trampolining and all that. But yeah, let's get on. Forgot which way it is. Don't really matter, does it? Let's get on with the video. Take books and folders home. We have this is my science one, history, maths, Spanish, I hate Spanish so much, and geography. So my tips would be to take books home, and I know it sounds a bit oh yeah, take books home, common sense, but some people would think, oh yeah, I can just Google everything, but your book has everything. You wouldn't have written everything down in your book if it's not going to be in your test at any time. So why would you be learning it? So I'd recommend taking all your books home, because this is my geography book. We've been learning about tourism and Antarctic animals and Arctic animals and all stuff like that. So just taking your books home will give you a big help. For Spanish, it has all the vocab in it, and just because on my website, my school website, it has all the information, but there might be more in-depth information in your book that could help you throughout the tests, and plus you can just do little flashcards as well. But yeah, this is my old maths book, but I have two other maths books. I have my newest one. I think this is my second one. I have my other one, my newest one, and then I have my oldest one, which I have no idea what that is. But yeah, I just recommend taking books home, because it just seems like such a stupid idea to take books home, because why would you take a book home when everything's on a website or everything's there, the teachers are giving you the revision and all this and that. But your book's full of all the homework and the homework. Your book's full of all the revision and everything you need. So yeah. Tip would be to be organised. So have a folder that that you can keep all your revision in, or I don't know, have cards or something, paper clips, rubber bands, this. Take the ruler out. This is literally all of my revision in it, and this is just from a week, and I've got everything folded up, paper clipped together that goes with each subject, and them all labelled. And I just feel if it's organised, then you'll know where everything is, and you want to do it, because oh, it's all nice and neat, and it just seems better to do. But if someone's just a massive pile of it, and you just see a massive pile like that, you just I don't want to do revision. But if it's all bright, colourful, organised, if I take all this out, that was fair. Take all this out now. Here I have my Spanish revision. So I have all my my teacher gave us questions that we needed to do. So I've put all the questions down and I've written them out, and then I've printed off all the sheets of like the revision note sheets, and it's just folded up, join these together, paperclip it, and you're good to go really. And I've done that for most of my subjects, unless I didn't want to print it off because like it's either like pointless or like, I don't know, it's just like I didn't need to because I could just write it down because it's not a lot of information. Like it'd be better for me to write it down because I might remember it better. But yeah, like I've got little sheets like this, so I've got that for Spanish, DT, drama, music, history. So that's all like my history questions, and then the sheets that I've used to answer them. And then this is my English. Like I've printed off a test paper and made it double-sided. So then like I can just like do a practice test, like put me under time limits and then that'd help me. And then I've just got homework in here as well. And then like this book, which has been like a great help for revision, like you don't even understand. It's like my best friend. It's like becoming so thin. I mean, I've still got quite a few pages in it, but like it was so thick, and now it's like tiny because I've just used all the paper up, because like it was such good use, because I just write stuff down, rip it up, fold it up, put it together, and bam. Use highlighters. Like right now I only have these highlighters, but like not just highlighters, but just make everything colourful, because it looks more attractive. Like not attractive, but like it doesn't look so boring, like just a black or blue pen just writing, and it just looks a bit plain and doesn't look the best, does it? But as soon as you highlight stuff, or like, I don't know, like put bubbles around stuff and like get coloured pens and write on them and draw pictures and diagrams and stuff like that, it just looks more like, it just looks more fun to do. And then I know revision isn't fun, like you have to write stuff down and remember stuff, and like no one likes revision. Even if you're like, oh yeah, I revised this many hours, no one enjoyed it. They just did it because they wanted to do well on a test. But they might have enjoyed it a little more if they used colours. Like I have a pink, yellow, green, orange highlighters, and like this is just like enough for me to like colour stuff in, make things pretty, and like I said on the last one, like organisation. For one of my organisations, like I've used a card and I've written all like my. I've put like a little key here that says like the colour of the highlighter and what I've revised, and then like it's highlighted, and then it's like, oh, I've done this many so far, and I've done this, rather than just being like, oh, I've not done this and this and this. But then you look at it and you're like, oh, I've done this many, and then you don't think of the negative, what you haven't done. You think of like, oh, I've done this, and like, you get what I mean? So yeah, like colours are like a big must for me, and I'm like, I have to use colours. It just helps a lot. But yeah. Tip would be like how you do your not organisation, but how you actually revise. So like for me, I'll use flashcards. Like I'll write like a question on one side and then the answer on the other, and then I'll get people to test me. And it's just being like creative with how you do things. Like my science teacher said, create a triangle. I'll draw you a little demonstration on one of these cards. I have like 20 million of them. So you'd draw a triangle, just your normal triangle like that. Obviously it'd be bigger, and then you separate it into 4 columns, like 4 sections, and then in the bottom one, which is the biggest one, you'll write all the information out and like copy information off something, and then you cover that bottom one, go to the second one, and remember as much as you can. And because they're getting smaller, you not write it as in full sentences. You just try and remember like the important parts, and then you cover them too, and then you'd see what you've remembered, and then you covered them too, and try and remember them in that box. and then you'd see what you've remembered, and then obviously they get smaller and smaller, and then in the top box you just write all the most important stuff. And I think that's a very like a good idea, because like during it's making your brain think, oh, what if I just written it down? What could I remember? What's the shorter version for this? What's more important? And it's making you like understand different things as well. And also, I'm going to add to this one is like the amount of like revision you do. Don't do 3 hours on one subject. It's not just because you've done a lot of it doesn't mean your brain's going to take the full thing in. Like do little bits, like 45 minutes, 15 minutes rest, or like an hour, half an hour's rest, or something like that. Because like you can do stuff in between, and then you can come back to it and then revise what you've just revised, see what you remember. So like it's the timing and like how creative you get with your revision, and like you're not just like, oh, let's just write all this down. You're like, oh, I could do diagrams. I could do like spider diagrams, what are they called? Like the bubbles, and then you draw like lines off it. I could do this triangle thing. Like you have different ideas, just use them to your advantage, and like use time to your advantage. So don't be like, oh my god, I've got a test tomorrow. Let's revise like 4 till I go to bed. Like it's not gonna do anything for you because you're not gonna remember it. You need to revise over time. So revise one part of it, and then revise it the next day and start another part, and then revise it the next day and revise another part, and then it might actually stick in your brain. Sorry if I'm flicking my hair a lot, it's just annoying me. And like you might actually remember what you've revised, and like it will help you on the test. And then like also the more effort you put in, but like it's quality not quantity. So if you do loads of it and then you come back the next day and you remember it all, then that's better than doing like if you do a little bit, come back to it and you remembered it all, that's good. But if you do like 3 hours worth, come back to it and be like, what did I do yesterday? Like what did I revise? It just won't help you at all. So like you need to do like quality not quantity, the amount of time, and be creative basically. That was such a ramble. My fifth and final tip is going to be to like don't do it all on your own, because you'll get bored and then you like get sidetracked and then you start watching videos, or you just won't enjoy it. But if you like do it with friends, like you work together, write loads of stuff down and test each other, then you can like talk to them about stuff, but you're going to revise as well, and then you do better on the test, and like you're not just doing it on your own and like being bored like, oh my god, I really hate revision, because it might make it more fun for you, and like you won't be so bored like, for God's sake, I hate this, I hate that, why do I have to do this, why and that, and then you'll just give up, not revise, do really bad in your test. Like in my school, I don't know if it's in like American schools, but in the UK you have sets, so like you might be in set 1, which is the best set, and then you don't revise because you get bored because you're doing it on your own and you're not being creative, and then you'll move down to like set 3 and you're like, oh well, brilliant, and then you'll give up again, and then you just keep moving down sets, and it's just going to be a recurring cycle. So do it with friends and do it with family members. So like friends that have the same test as you, like test each other on it, remember stuff, revise, and then anything you've forgotten, revise it again and retest yourself. And also family members. So if you can't hang around with your friends, I mean, I know not everyone like likes hanging around with the friends. Like some people have had fallouts with the friends and all this and that, because like drama life. Just use your family, like older brothers and sisters, parents, grandparents, all stuff like that. Because if you have help and if you get people to help you, you will do better in the test. It's just logical, because you don't do a lot of time, you don't spend hours and hours on end, you do a little bit and revise it and test it and see what you know, and then you revise the stuff that you didn't know and that you've forgotten, and you'll just do better if you work with family members and friends. My video, my floor is literally a tip now. I mean, Marion wasn't the tidiest already, but like still it's a massive tip. I've just chucked on the floor full of school stuff, like these, all my books, my highlighters, like everything's everywhere. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you found these tips very useful for when you have tests. Since I have tests now, I find these very useful for me, although I do get a bit stressed out because I don't really work with family members, like I'm gonna, but like right now I'm only getting all my revision down and then I'm being tested, so I'm like in a bit of a state sometimes, but like it gets better. You'll get good test marks and you'll be like, well, that was worth it. So yeah, sorry about the ramble, and sorry like this is like might feel a bit rushed. Sorry if it is a bit rushed. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And in the comment section, tell me whether you like my video ideas, which I'm going to put in the description below. And tell me any video ideas that you would like for the near future. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!